County Assembly, you have something to say?
Yes,
please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, you will recall that at the close of our case, I had intimated that I would be making a very quick application. At the end of our examination in chief yesterday, we were told by the Senate that they reserved the interrogation of our first witness, Mr. Geoffrey Bett. We still wanted to have that clarification whether he's still needed because we still have him around. He's one of the witnesses that is living with disability, so we wanted to have that clarification first. And second, and related to the issue, at the end of his testimony yesterday, the said witness made an application for protection, not just on his physical attack, but even against bullying on social media. He has brought to my attention an incident that went against the request that he had made, that yesterday through a Facebook post by one Joan Chepkrui, whose Facebook name is Joan Kaku, alias Nadia, wrote the following words: Kiwete anataka kuhurumiwa na 80 million ilipotea department yake. That comment was shared in another Facebook page, that is Philip Mugo's Foundation. That specific lady, Joan Chepkrui, has been cited sitting at the Speaker's Gallery or the public gallery. In fact, she has taken lunch at the Senate yesterday and today, and therefore the simple request from Mr. Geoffrey is for stern action to be taken against that particular person who is still within the Senate's precinct. I'll usher in my senior to also make a comment on the same.
Mr. Speaker, the most important thing for us is that the maker of that post is within these precincts, and the witness says that as he sat here, that lady was among the people sitting in the gallery just above your head, and that lady has eaten lunch with us in the Senate precincts, and he knows her personally because she's a neighbor from home, and she's a known blogger for the governor in Kericho County. Those are the instructions that we have. We think that those words that Mr. Mutuma has read are not only demeaning, but they humiliate a witness of that nature who was here, spoke his voice, spoke about this being a healing process for him. That humiliation damages his healing by far. We'll direct, Mr. Speaker, that if that witness is still within these precincts, because coincidentally for us on her page, she took some photos with some senators and did not name names, meaning she has been here. We have been shown photos taken yesterday with some senators in this precinct, validating the fact that she is within this precinct, and therefore stern action is necessary. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Counsel for the County Assembly. Counsel for the Governor, just have a seat. The Senate can only do what is within its powers. To the first limb of your request as to whether the Senate wishes to engage further with the witness, the answer is no. To the second request, I was made to understand that yesterday the witness did ask for arrangements to be made so that he feels secure when he goes back home. We can only relay that information to the IG, that the witness, as he goes back home, he doesn't suffer any insecurities as a result of having appeared before the Senate. On the third one, on the social media post, as a Senate, we are not in a position to control what goes into social media or not. Now, Counsel for the County Assembly, since you've identified the culprit, you know exactly the remedies that are available to the witness. Kindly pursue them so that that particular person who posted that derogatory post is punished pursuant to the law. However, I will add one thing to the members of public. We are here on a very serious matter. And no member of public, nor the parties involved in this particular case, or even the senators, are allowed to intimidate any witness. That post is an intimidation of a witness. And therefore, be warned, whoever did that, because the reason why I told the council for the governor to sit down is we're going to degenerate into a hand-pecking exercise. My client has been mentioned, I need to say this. We will run all the way without finding a stop down the line. So a stern warning from the Senate is no member of public should aim derogatory remarks to the witnesses that appear before us. If you do, then as I've already advised counsel for the county assembly, you have a smorgasbord of remedies available to you. Ours is to give that stern warning. And should it persist, then we will, at an appropriate time, ask that member, if they're in this house, to withdraw from the precincts of parliament, because that particular behavior cannot be tolerated while these proceedings are ongoing. Senator for Nairobi City County.
Speaker, at the very minimum, because according to the rules, everybody who is in the gallery sits there at the pleasure of the Speaker. And if it is possible for the team from the County Assembly to point out to the Sergeant-at-Arms who that person is, I think it would be proper, because of the disrespect that has been shown to the process, that that person be removed from the precincts of Parliament. I want the team from the County Assembly to know that it is very difficult, as the Speaker has said, to control what people say on social media. Yesterday, some of the witnesses asked to take photos with me outside there, Honorable Speaker. And I've seen posts from Kericho saying that a bevy of young women has been deployed to confuse me. No, it is a bad thing because, Honorable Speaker, I personally consider myself public property, so that if somebody asks to take a photo with me, I cannot say no. But then they are going to insinuate that these young ladies were somehow deployed as a force to cause confusion, so that when we vote, we might not vote on the issues. But Speaker, this specific person, if can be identified by the Council for the Assembly, I think it would only be fair and proper that for this particular case they be ejected from the precincts of Parliament. I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Sifuna, I thank you for your piece of wisdom. But you see, the biggest problem will be the identification using that post. If I had the counsel for the county assembly well, is that that post is traceable to somebody known to the governor. So it is a process, because the name given in that post, if I understood it correctly, it is not the official name that that particular person uses. So you need then the very same people to, the IT people, to get that pseudo account, because it's using a different name, different from the person who is allegedly seated with us. So for us to be convinced that particular post and that name actually refers to the same and one person as the one seated here, it's another process. And that's why I'm saying it is very difficult for us. And the only thing we can do is to issue that stern warning. Assuming that pseudonym refers to the person you are referring to, then may that person be warned that we cannot tolerate that kind of behavior in the Senate. We may now proceed. We have concluded the case for the county assembly. We will now move to hear the case for the governor. Now, Governor, you have 5 hours to prosecute your case. Those hours are distributed as follows. 3 hours will be reserved for the governor and his witnesses, and 2 hours will be allocated to the team from the County Assembly for purposes of cross-examination. The time taken by the senators for seeking clarification and questions, that is not part of the 5 hours that we have just apportioned between the two teams. Now, honorable senators, the Senate will rise at exactly midnight tonight. So we hope to conclude the case of the governor before we rise at midnight. And then we shall resume tomorrow for purposes of deliberating and voting. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I thought these proceedings were gazetted for 3 days. What's the point of us sitting here until midnight? If we
because the second day ends at midnight.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to beseech you, because we only have 5 hours for the governor's case or response, and then I think a couple of hours for the other party and also the governor to be able to conclude the matter. For us to rise at 6:30, it's only healthy. And then we come back tomorrow when we are fresh, at 9 in the morning, and then we deal with this matter and prosecute it. I think it's only fair, Mr. Speaker. Yeah.
Yes, Senator from Nairobi City.
Speaker, just referencing the Gazette notice for these special sittings that the Minority Whip has spoken to, we gazetted for 3 days, and I might be missing some commas in this communication, but it is only in respect of Friday that there was expression that we will only, the session will run commencing at 9 a.m. until the conclusion of the business of the day. So, Speaker, there is enough time tomorrow morning. I'm sure if we did, how many hours are left? 1.5 hours today, and then morning as well. I can, as whip, commit on behalf of at least the minority that we'll be here at 9 a.m. sharp, so that we are able to conclude the governor's case by around 11 or 12. And then we will have time to deliberate and make a vote. At least tomorrow we know we are here until the matter is concluded. So, Honorable Speaker, with kind indulgence, with humility, which is, a rare trait for some of us, we are, we are learning. So please, just reconsider, because my understanding of the Gazette is as such.
Now, honorable senators, let's see how far our batteries take us. If they run low at 6:30, we're human beings, we shall abide. But let's see how far our batteries will take us. Let's proceed.